help center the mind. So take deep, slow, quiet, even breaths. Make them long, make them slow, make them deep, make them silent. And this is how we begin to settle the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic branch and the sympathetic branch, the rest and digest branch and the fight or flight branch. Well, we're going to shift towards the rest and digest branch. We do that immediately with long, slow, deep, silent breaths. We make them deep, slow, quiet, and even. And as we do, we have a saying in strong Qigong, you may recall, the key to taking a deep breath isn't how much we draw in, the key to taking a deep breath is how much we puff out, because we have many more exhale muscles than we have inhale muscles. We really only have one inhale muscle, and that's that diaphragm rising and falling, controlled by our phrenic nerve. But we have many more exhale muscles. There's 3 layers of intercostals and others. So at the bottom of every breath, begin to extend that exhale. Make it a little longer each time. And you'll notice as we use the martial arts technique of in through the nose and out from the mouth, we purse lips as if blowing through a straw. And this way, you control your exhale. And as you do, you focus further. Now, if you're comfortable doing so with eyes closed, you can invite your eyes to close. And you can use this powerful visualization we call sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. So you imagine this great mind that you have, that you've been gifted and you've been polishing your entire life with education and experience, that you're going to sharpen it a little further now. And with every inhale, you're drawing it across the stone of your breath, tipped to one side. When you get to the end of your inhale, you turn the blade, tip to the other side, and push it from you. So with every inhale you draw towards you, with every exhale you push from you. Through inhales, through the nose, exhales, through pursed lips, you begin to lengthen that exhale. You're focusing on every breath cycle. Now, as you continue to focus on that breath cycle, you tighten your attention a little bit more. And you start to find the fleeting moments when you flip that blade. When your out-breath changes to in-breath, and your in-breath changes back to out-breath. Begin to sharpen your mind on the stone of the breath by focusing on those fleeting moments. And that's how we invite our forebrain to take control of our midbrain, and our midbrain can release dopamine. So dopamine is often called the reward molecule, but it's actually the pursuit molecule. And this is a good way to sharpen the mind. It's a good exercise you can do anywhere, anytime, one breath to 1,000, whatever you prefer. Now do this for a little bit more, and when you feel comfortable doing so, you can begin to let your eyes gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We'll get into our warm-ups as always. We start at the top of the kinetic chain. We work all the way to the bottom, and we begin with something I learned decades ago in physical therapy school called the yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in, our head floats like that balloon on a string. We purse the lips, let air out of the balloon as the chin drops to the chest. When we inhale again, we inhale and we sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale, pursed lips across the chest. Inhale, opposite ear past opposite shoulder. Exhale, pursed lips across the chest. Inhale through the nose. Exhale across the chest. Inhale through the nose. From shoulder to shoulder, rocking from side to side. This calibrates your inner ear with your diaphragm. You're making things move in sequence and in synchronicity. So you've got your rise and fall of your diaphragm moving with little otoliths in your inner ear, the semicircular canals. And they're rolling around in there while you're getting everything calibrated. It's such a good place to start. After more breaths in this manner, when you feel comfortable doing so, you can pause your chin at your chest. Inhale your chin back upright, and we work into this upper respiratory sinus, what we call the middle dantian. When we inhale, we loop our shoulder blades forward and upward. When we exhale through pursed lips, we squeeze downward and backward. And we continue to breathe in this manner. So with every inhale up, loop them forward, upward. With every exhale down, squeeze downward and backward. Wake up an area between your shoulder blades the ancient Asian literature calls the Dajue point. You're warming up your middle dantian after you warmed up your upper dantian with sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath. Beautifully done. Now, when you feel comfortable doing so, as your hands drop, you can begin to cross wrists with gentle fists and go into a boat rowing maneuver. So you're throwing loops with each elbow. Same breath, inhaling and rising, exhaling and falling. Beautifully done. Looping your shoulder blades, looping your elbows. And then the next time your hands drop, if you're comfortable doing so, open your palms upward and scoop them. Inhale, big arm circles. Exhale down. Continue to breathe in this manner, and you may notice knees and hands want to rise and fall with the breath. Let your knees float and melt in concert with your breath and your arms. Well done. As you continue to rise and fall in this manner, the next time your hands drop, make those gentle fists again and row your boat on your moonlit night, on your placid Lake Junaluska or Matanzas River here in North Florida. Beautifully done. And then we finish where we started. The next time your gentle fists cross, just return to those shoulder rolls, looping, squeezing down. Well done. We've got the upper dantian and middle dantian warmed up. We'll begin to warm ourselves into the lower respiratory sinus. So the next time your hands drop, you can relax everything and turn your eyes towards one hand and begin to scoop and toss behind you from side to side. And let your eyes follow your hands. Let your hands follow your breath. Let your breath follow your mind. So inhale with palm up, exhale with palm down behind you. Beautifully done. Now, just as we did before, when you feel comfortable doing so, you can make gentle fists and begin to do that single rowing, each elbow looping behind you. Noticing it turns your trunk and shifts your weight. Stay close, buck. Beautifully done. Looping like you're doing. Go lie down. Go on inside if you want. He's getting hot in the sun. Now, get back into the shoulder blades and loop each shoulder blade backward. Big looping circles. Notice it's turning your trunk and shifting your weight, which is beautiful because it gets you right down the respiratory sinus into the lower thoracic spine. And with your trunk turn and your weight shift, you can go right into ragdoll. Simply let the hands flail from the body, turn your trunk, let the arms just flail freely. Breathing deep, slow, quiet, even breaths. From this classic warm-up, we go into another classic warm-up known as the pellet drum. So use the momentum of your trunk turn and begin to slap or tap the top of the opposite shoulder. And let the backhand just wind up where it winds up, tapping into the low back or hip. Beautifully done. As we work our way down towards the lower dantian, the slap and tap of the top of the shoulder goes to the top of the chest, up around your collarbone, where it's safe to give yourself a slap or a sharp tap, whatever you feel like you need today. And from the top of the chest, you drop to the floating ribs at the bottom of your rib cage. And after the floating ribs at the bottom of your rib cage, you invite them down to the hip. We've got the upper 2/3 of the body warmed up. We'll work our way down into the lower dantian. The lower portion of the body, you let your hands drift to your hips and you begin those big looping hula hoops we know as stirring the bowl. We call it that because the word pelvis is a Latin word for bowl, and it's bowl shape. Like the bell of a wine glass, you're swirling it around. And after you've gone in one direction, just pause and begin to loop in the opposite direction, as we always strive to balance yin and yang, east and west, and one direction and another. Beautifully done. Now we can allow our center of gravity to settle within our base of support. Just widen your base of support. It doesn't have to be much, a few inches, to where you can drop into the horse stance or the horse riding stance, Ma Bu. And this is the Great Bear Swings, a classic from the Shaolin tradition. We take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we turn our shoulders and sweep across through pursed lips. We inhale, then through the nose, pause. Exhale, sweep across. Inhale and rise in the same breath you used with yoga neck roll. You can rest your hands anywhere they wind up on your thighs. Inhale and rise. Exhale all the way across. Beautifully done. Now, after you've gone from side to side with the Great Bear Swings, on your next exhale, you can pause at the middle. Inhale your trunk back upright, and still in horse stance, begin shifting weight on a figure eight. Rock your little boat on your moonlit night on your placid Lake Junaluska. As you do, when you change direction, round that corner. So it's almost like a dance move. What this does is preserves your alignment. Your three dantian remain atop one another, and that's always the goal of proper form in Tai Chi and Qigong. So after you've shifted weight on figure eight, you can settle in the middle, and before you leave horse stance, shift weight to one foot, raise the opposite toe, then shift to the other and raise its toe, and make it as smooth as you can from side to side, waking up the lower portion of your kinetic chain. Well done. Now you can return to center. Bring your feet back into your comfortable center stance, about shoulder width. Shift weight to one foot, raise the opposite heel, loop the knee. Whichever direction you chose is fine. Simply pause and loop in the opposite direction to unwind what you've wound. Then take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop the knee. And after a few loops in one direction, unwind what you've wound. Beautifully done. Now you can invite your center of gravity to settle within your base of support. You know all we have left are wrists, hands, and forearms. You also know we have important energy centers according to the ancient Asian literature called Lao Gong points. And you can find them by making the gentle fist, raising all fingers except the middle. Where your middle finger touches your palm is the Lao Gong point. And we breathe through this into our next visualization. We take a deep breath in. As we exhale down, Lao Gong points lead and knees soften. We roll wrists, and as we inhale up, Lao Gong points lead the way again, and knees float. So knees and hands float in concert with the breath. Beautifully done. As you do so, this is a classic ancient visualization, and if you can do so comfortable, feel free to invite your eyes to close. Use the power of that visualization of your upper dantian. With every inhale, the ancients tell us you can imagine a glowing mist forming in the core of the earth, rising through the soles of the feet, through the trillions of cells of your inner body to collect in your upper dantian. When you go to exhale and the wrists roll and the hands melt down, you imagine that glowing mist forms a glowing cloud. The glowing cloud forms a glowing rain. The glowing rain washes down the trillions of cells through the soles of the feet, back into the earth. So this classic visualization is breathing into and out of the earth. With every inhale, a glowing mist rises. With every exhale, a glowing rain falls. You breathe in this manner, preparing yourself for your next posture and move. Cleansing the inner body is what this is called. The next time your hands rise, when you feel comfortable doing so, you can pause at heart height in the hugging stance known in the Tai Chi and Qigong tradition, the stand-like tree. If you can do so with eyes closed, you might invite them to close so you can use the full power of your visualization. With long neck and light head floating upward in our inventory, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt down, and between them, with every breath, pulling in opposite directions, the spine gently stretches in what's known as the string of pearls. With long, slow, deep, silent breaths, stretching in both directions in the string of pearls, the hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. The feet are parallel in that firm, rooted stance like a mighty oak. And our three energy centers that we preserved in their alignment are resting peacefully on one another as if we carefully selected, gathered, balanced, and stacked three smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. With soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, or best of all, eyes closed, we feel the echoes of our warm-ups from head to toe, those yoga neck rolls and those rowing rolls with our elbows, that shifting weight on a figure eight, all of it. See it and feel it, enjoy it. And as you do, you can begin to let your hands slowly melt down until your thumbs find their destination crossed over the belly button. The folded fingers resting below in what's known lovingly in the ancient Asian literature as the lower dantian, the seat of Chi energy. Through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we visualize blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body, the lower dantian. As we do, we delight in the growing, glowing light as the embers respond and grow brighter with each extended exhale. With each deep ensuing inhale, we draw the light up, and we begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, the middle dantian. We continue to breathe in this manner, and those embers respond, and we blow on the embers of both cauldrons, filling the inner galaxy with light again, and this time spilling beyond the inner galaxy and bathing the space between us in light, warm, silken Chi energy. May your body be strong, and may your heart be calm. And if your eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands begin to slowly melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We are ready. We step into the center of that little boat, and the hand on this side of the room or screen makes a gentle fist that floats before the heart. The hand on this side covers it, and together we take a deep breath in to straighten. We slowly exhale and bow in a gesture of mutual respect. As we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for this tradition, when we exhale, the hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale them up overhead till the Lao Gong points are an inch or so apart. And exhale down slowly and deliberately our center line. This is known as centering the Chi in the Tai Chi tradition. We do it again. This time in the Shaolin tradition, we bring those Lao Gong points together. We exhale only as far as the heart center, the middle dantian. When we inhale, elbows rise and wrists straighten. When we exhale, hands melt down. Beautifully done. You're ready. Step into the center of your little boat. Unlock your knees. Inhale your hands up till Lao Gong points are an inch or so apart, and this time as you exhale down, let your knees join in. Inhale and float. Exhale and melt. This is sinking the Chi, a classic movement that helps us calibrate ourselves. Remember, you're not supposed to fit the form is supposed to fit you. So as you inhale and rise, you decide how high you reach. As you exhale and fall, you decide how low you go. Your only mission is to keep those three smooth river rocks resting peacefully on one another, maintaining your alignment. Beautifully done. And on this next one, when the hands rise again, invite the hand and foot on this side of your room or screen to come out in front of you. The heel is down, the toe is up, and the opposite hand is in between. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let everything drop. And when you inhale again, inhale and switch to the other side. Just like so. Continue from side to side. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. And go from side to side. We know this one lovingly as playing Pipa, which means the ancient Asian lute. You can see it's a defensive stance in the fighting form of Tai Chi. Beautifully done. This is often where they start in any type of sparring or combat. Rising and falling. Beautifully done. Float and melt. Well done. And on this next one, you can come out of it and you can find your alignment and sync your chi. Rise with the breath. And fall with the breath. Float and melt. Calibrate yourself. You're not supposed to fit the form is supposed to fit you. Well done. Now, the next time your hands rise, invite them to pause at shoulder width, like so. Hands pointing outward, and the hand on this side can cross your field of vision, leading with your Lao Gong point. It can drop down and the other hand can engage and cross your field of vision in the opposite direction. So you loop from side to side and you focus on the hand floating past your field of vision. Now this loose, easy, comfortable move, you'll notice your whole body turns and your weight shifts. And this is just a form of silk reeling. Silk reeling is essentially calisthenics and Tai Chi and Qigong. And what's beautiful about it is you don't have to worry about being perfect here. You're simply getting into the rhythm of watching your hand float past your field of vision. We like to call it wax on in strong Qigong in deference to the old Karate Kid movie. Wax on and wax off. Sand the floor, Mr. Miyagi's lessons. And that's what you're doing here. You're simply rocking from side to side, watching your hand float past your field of vision. And it's beautifully done. Now we're going to go into a single leg stance on each side, known as Rooster stands on one leg. So the next time your hand floats past, you can simply take the foot with that hand and pause over one foot, like so. And then you can resume your silk reeling. So silk reeling becomes the path from one side to the other. And in a moment, we'll go ahead and do rooster stands on one leg to the other side. So when you feel comfortable doing so, just bring the foot and knee with that hand and pause over the other leg. Whoa, and then resume your silk reel. And if you get a little wobbly like I did, it's actually part of the process. We're challenging our balance. We're shifting our weight. We're turning our trunk. We're using our coordination. Beautifully done. Let's do rooster stands again. The next time you come across, simply pause on rooster stands and then resume your silk reeling. Make it smooth and easy. And after you've done that one, simply do the same to the other side. Go ahead and rooster stands, east and west. Well done. So that's our single leg stance for today. And now we'll continue our wax on maneuver. And what you start to do is you start to carry each hand behind you, and you begin to push in front of you like so, pushing forward. And we're melting right into repulsing the monkey. Now, if you'll notice, when you go to change directions, you roll the wrist that's dropping back behind you. And then you push forward, roll wrist, and draw the other hand back. Now, if you want to calibrate your breath in true form, you simply inhale the hand back as you follow it, and then exhale forward. Inhaling behind you, exhaling, pushing forward like you're stopping traffic. This is repulsing the monkey, or at least a version of it. There's actually a whole body move, but we'll skip that today. You rock from side to side. Well done. Now, begin to return when you feel comfortable to that silk reel from side to side. Well done. You're flowing now. Turning trunk, shifting weight. And what we'll do is with this looping movement, we'll finish up with a classic known as mixing chi in the cauldron of the body. We simply begin to make this loop drop down our center line as we turn towards the opposite Lao Gong point. So you look into the Lao Gong point as you push it from your heart down into your lower dantian. And this turning of the trunk can slowly begin to diminish, like so, until you're just mixing chi in the cauldron of the body. Beautifully done. Turn towards each Lao Gong point, and then inhale it towards your heart, and then exhale, pushing down your center line. Well done. And finally, you can begin to pause wherever you started, like right here. You're in a pose known as embracing moon. We take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we drop the hands and we return to sync our chi. So we exhale down, we inhale and rise, we exhale and fall. Beautifully done. The next time your hands rise, when you feel comfortable doing so, you can invite them to pause out to the sides and stand like tree. With long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. And between them, our spine gently stretches with every breath, pulling in both directions in the string of pearls. Our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging that long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in that firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak, and our three energy centers rest peacefully on one another, as if we carefully gathered, balanced and stacked three smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. And with soft knees, soft belly, soft breath, soft gaze, but best of all, eyes closed, we feel the echoes, the chi we stirred. We see that dance in our mind's eye, from playing the Pipa, through the wax-on silk reel, from the rooster stands on one leg, through repulsing the monkey, from mixing the chi in the cauldron of the body, through embracing the moon. We see it and feel it. If our eyes are closed, we enjoy it a little longer as our hands take that final journey down. The thumbs crossing over the belly button, the folded fingers resume warming on the cauldron of the body. And through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw, we blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. And with each deep ensuing inhale, we draw that light upward. We begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the mind in gratitude for this beautiful inward show, using your own visualization, your own imagination, your own meditation, your own concentration. Blow on the embers of all three cauldrons, delight in the growing, glowing light through closed eyes and pursed lips, as if blowing through a straw. And after you've blown on all and filled that inner galaxy with light, it spills beyond the inner galaxy again, and it bathes the space between us. It spills beyond the space between us. It bathes the world around us. It spills beyond the world around us. It bathes life itself in light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body stay strong. May your heart stay calm. May your mind stay sharp. And may your spirit stay free. Yi Dao, Qi Dao means where mind goes, Qi follows. Where intention goes, energy flows. So please, choose deliberately. Choose peacefully, choose wisely. And if eyes are closed, enjoy it a moment longer as the hands begin to melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Welcome back. We step back into the center of that little boat, and we inhale the hands up till Lao Gong points are an inch or so apart, and slowly and deliberately exhale down your center line, centering your chi as promised at the beginning. So the hand on this side of the room or screen can make the fist, the hand on this side can cover it. Together, we take a deep breath in to straighten, we slowly exhale and bow, and you give yourselves a much earned, much deserved round of applause, being the light you made in the world today.